Thank you for coming back to our channel, Legends Leaving. We made a list of the famous actors who died today and put it in this memorial video. Those famous people who will be missed but who made important contributions to their works have sadly died today. Please show your love by giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. 6. Maria Branyas Morera was born in San Francisco, California on March 4, 1907. Her family was from Catalonia and had moved to the United States. Her father was a reporter and was born in Spain. Her mother was from Mexico. In 1915, Maria was only 8 years old when her family chose to move back to Spain and live in Catalonia. During World War I, the trip across the Atlantic was dangerous, and the ship they were on had many problems, but they made it safely in the end. Maria grew up in Spain, where she saw important events in history happen, like the Spanish Civil War and both World Wars. Even though things were hard, she married a Catalan doctor and had 3 children with him. Maria was known for being strong, funny, and having a positive view on life her whole life. For many years, she lived on her own. When she was 92, she moved into a care home in Catalonia. There, she continued to live her life to the fullest, keeping up with current events and staying in touch with her family, which now had 11 grandkids and 13 great-grandchildren. Maria said that she lived a long time because she had good genes, ate well, and had a strong spirit. She lived through wars, pandemics, and big steps forward in technology, and she handled each time with grace and strength. After the death of the French nun Lucille Randon on January 17, 2023, Maria Branyas Morera became the oldest known live person in the world. People all over the world heard about her story and praised her as a sign of strength in the human spirit. Maria was very smart and interested in the world around her, even though she was very old. With the help of her family, she often shared life lessons and thoughts on social media. It was peaceful for Maria Branyas Morera to die in her sleep on August 19, 2024. She was 117 years old. Her death marked the end of a very long and interesting life that lasted 300 years and saw and experienced many big changes in the world. Many people are still inspired by how long she lived and how positive she was about life. She left behind a foundation of strength, love, and wisdom that will be remembered for generations. 5. John William Laurence Clegg was born in Murree, British India, on July 9, 1934. It is now a part of Pakistan. His early years were marked by the difficulties of living in India during the British Raj, where his father was an officer in the British Army. When John's family moved back to England, he went to the famous Royal Academy of Dramatic Art, RADA, to learn how to be an actor. After he graduated, he started working in theater and gained experience in repertory groups all over the UK. He started out by acting in classical plays where he showed he was very good at playing Shakespearean parts. In 1974, John Clegg got his big break when he was chosen as Gunnar Diagram in the BBC sitcom It Ain't Half Hot Mum, the show, which was made by David Croft and Jimmy Perry, took place at a music party for the British Army during World War II. It was a huge hit and ran for 8 seasons until 1981. Clegg's character, who was known for acting aristocratic and loving classical music, became a fan favorite. His role as the well-spoken and a little cocky Gunnar Graham made him famous all over the world. The part established Clegg's place in British TV history, and he was linked to the show throughout his career. While not in It Ain't Half Hot Mum, Clegg continued to work in theater and TV, but he never became as famous as he was for his famous part. In guest parts, he was on many British TV shows, such as Dad's Army and Are You Being Served? Clegg also worked in the theater, especially in shows that went to different theaters in the area. This let him keep in touch with real crowds. People knew him for being professional, dedicated to his job, and able to give the roles he played depth and nuance. John Clegg died on August 20th, 2024. He was 90 years old. With his death, a long and respected career in the British entertainment business came to an end. Fans and co-workers alike recognized him for making a big difference in British comedy, especially through his work on It Ain't Half Hot Mum. The role of Gunnar Diagram that Clegg played on British TV is still loved by many, and his career as an actor is still praised. A lot of people who liked his work and the charm he brought to the show were sad about his death. 4. Sam Lansberger was born on May 15, 1989 in Melbourne, Australia. He loved sports, especially Australian rules football, AFL, from a very young age. This love would later shape his work. Sam grew up in Melbourne, Australia's sports capital. He was surrounded by AFL culture and developed a love for the game as well as a deep understanding of how it works. His love of sports didn't stop at just watching when he was in school. He played football in neighborhood leagues all the time. Sam went to school at LA Trobe University and majored in writing with a focus on sports reporting. Sam's job as a sports reporter began soon after he graduated. He started working for the Herald Sun, which is one of Australia's most well-known newspapers. It was clear right away how talented and dedicated he was, and he quickly rose through the ranks to become one of the best sports reporters at the newspaper. Sam had a loyal audience because he wrote in an interesting way and did in-depth reporting and insightful analysis. Even though he covered many sports, he was best known for how well he covered the AFL. Sam was a respected voice in the sports world because he could find interesting stories and tell them with clarity and emotion. Besides working at the Herald Sun, Sam Lansberger also went into television and became a host for Fox Footy, where he continued to share his knowledge on AFL. His on-screen presence was marked by his in-depth knowledge of the game, his charismatic delivery, and his true love for the sport. Peers and viewers alike thought highly of Sam, not only for how professional he was, but also how friendly and down-to-earth he was. He was a big deal in Australian sports media because of what he did for sports journalism and broadcasting. Sad to say, Sam Lansberger's life was cut short when he died in a car crash on August 20th, 2024. He was 35 years old. The accident took place at the corner of Bridge Road and Church Street in Richmond, Melbourne, late on Tuesday morning. Victoria Police revealed the terrible event, which shocked sports fans and people who follow him. Sam's untimely death had a huge effect on everyone who knew him, both emotionally and professionally. Tons of tributes came from coworkers, athletes, and fans. They all remembered how talented he was, how nice he was, and how much he loved what he did. People will remember Sam Lansberger's work as a sports reporter and host for years to come. His death has also left a hole in the world of Australian sports media. 3. Atsuko Tanaka was born in Maebashi, Gunma Prefecture, Japan, on November 14, 1962. She was very interested in the performing arts, especially acting and sharing stories. From a very young age, Tanaka followed her dream of becoming a voice actress after she finished school. Voice acting was quickly becoming popular in Japan because of the popularity of cartoons and video games. She stood out in the business because of her deep, resonant voice and her ability to show a wide range of feelings. Tanaka joined Masu Promotion, a talent agency that would become her home away from home during her career. In the beginning, she played a number of different characters in anime shows. It didn't take long for her versatile voice and strong presence to become known. Tanaka's most famous part was as Major Motoko Kusanagi in the Ghost in the Shell anime movie, which came out in 1995 and was praised by critics. The movie, which was based on Masamune Shirou's manga, was a big deal in the cyberpunk field and screened all over the world. Many people said that Tanaka's performance as the Major, a mysterious and complicated robot, was very deep and nuanced. People became very familiar with her voice because she played the part in many sequels, spin-offs, and video games, making her one of the most famous voice actors in the business. Because Ghost in the Shell was so popular, Tanaka became known all over the world and was hired to do voices for other big projects. Tanaka had a successful voice acting career in addition to her role as Motoko Kusanagi. She voiced many characters in cartoons, video games, and Japanese dubs of foreign films. Lisa in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Conan and Naruto Shippuden and Claudette in Queen's Blade were some of her well-known parts. She was able to play a wide range of parts, from strong, authoritative ones to more subtle, emotionally driven ones. Tanaka was also a well-known and respected storyteller, known for how she could bring stories to life with her voice. She was 61 years old when she died on August 20th, 2024. Her death ended an amazing career that lasted more than 30 years, People recognized Tanaka not only for her amazing skills, but also for how hard she worked at her job and how she changed the voice acting business. The role she played as Motoko Kusanagi is still a turning point in anime history, and her contributions to the field have left a lasting mark on the entertainment world. Both her fans and her coworkers were saddened by her death and honored her as one of Japan's most skilled and loved voice actresses. 2. Pierre Cardier was born in Sedan, France on June 10, 1932. He was naturally very good at math from a very young age. This skill would help him become one of the most important scientists of the 20th century. Cardier went to the École Normale Supérieure to study under some of the best mathematicians of the time after finishing his early schooling. These are the places where he met the Bourbaki group, a group of mathematicians whose goal was to rewrite mathematics in a very formal and abstract way. Cardier was deeply affected by the Bourbaki group. It changed how he solved math problems and how much he liked strict, formal methods. Cardier's early work was mostly in algebraic geometry, an area of mathematics that was changing a lot because of the work of thinkers like Alexander Grothendieck. During the 1960s, Cardier and Grothendieck worked together a lot, which helped modern algebraic geometry grow. During this time, Cardier's work on the theory of schemes, which became a basic idea in the field, was one of his most important accomplishments. He made important contributions to representation theory and category theory, two areas of mathematics that look into the abstract connections between algebraic systems, because he knew a lot about how algebraic structures work. To his work in pure mathematics, Cardier also added a lot to mathematical physics, especially the study of gauge theory and quantum mechanics. He was able to connect vague mathematical ideas with their uses in theoretical physics because he worked with people from different fields. During his work, Cardier was known for being able to easily switch between different areas of mathematics and find connections that led to new ideas and discoveries. Many awards have been given to him for his work, including election to the French Academy of Sciences. Pierre Cardier was also a well-known and respected teacher and mentor. His lectures and papers have had an impact on many generations of mathematicians. He was known for having clear ideas and being able to explain complicated ideas in a way that anyone could understand. Cardier stayed involved in the mathematical community well into his later years. He went to conferences and helped with ongoing studies. His death date was August 17, 2024, and he was 92 years old. It was the end of an era in mathematics when he died, but his work in algebraic geometry, representation theory, and mathematical physics goes on. Both his co-workers and his students remember him as a great scholar whose work will live on in the field. The many areas of mathematics he helped to shape and the study that is still going on that builds on his ideas show how important he was. 1. Philip John Donahue, better known as Phil Donahue, was a famous American writer, media personality, and film director. He was born in Cleveland, Ohio on December 21, 1935, and grew up in an Irish Catholic working-class home. He went to St. Edward High School in Lakewood, Ohio, and then got his degree in business administration from the University of Notre Dame in 1957. At first, Donahue thought about becoming a priest, but he was drawn to broadcasting and started his work as a production assistant at Cleveland's KW Radio and TV. When Donahue started the Phil Donahue Show in Dayton, Ohio in 1967, it was a big deal. This groundbreaking TV show, which was later shortened to Donahue, was the first talk show with audience involvement, which was a new idea at the time. A lot of people liked this show right away because it talked openly about controversial topics like religion, war, civil rights, and women's freedom. Donahue was a trusted and admired figure in American television because he could connect with both his guests and the viewers. Donahue became a national hit over the years. It ran for 29 years and won 20 Daytime Emmy Awards. The success of the show opened the way for other talk shows and made Donahue a leader in the business. He talked to a lot of different people, from famous people and politicians to regular people with interesting stories. His kind and thoughtful interviews made him a popular figure, and people called him the father of daytime talk shows. Donahue was also a great writer and film producer in addition to his work on TV. His work includes the book Donahue, My Own Story, and the production of several films, such as Body of War, which he directed with Ellen Spiro. The movie was praised for its powerful and personal portrayal of the human cost of war. It was based on the challenges of a young Iraq War veteran. Donahue also spoke out for social justice and often used his fame to bring attention to issues of unfairness and support peace. He was controversial because of his liberal views and desire to talk about tough issues, but he never wavered in his support for open communication and the free exchange of ideas. He was 88 years old when he died in New York City on August 18, 2024. His death ended an era in TV history, but his work as a groundbreaking talk show host and social change activist will live on. His wife, actress Marlo Thomas, and their 5 children will miss him. His work in the media and influence on American society are still praised and remembered by many viewers and media professionals today. The famous actor Michael J. Fox was born on June 9, 1961 in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. He is best known for his parts in Family Ties and the Back to the Future movies. In the 1980s, Fox's career took off, and he became one of those Hollywood names that everyone knew. His charm and skill earned him many honors, including several Emmy Awards. But things got hard for Fox when he was 29 years old and was told he had Parkinson's disease in 1991. Even though he was told he had Parkinson's disease, he kept working in the entertainment business. Eventually, he turned his attention to raising awareness and funding for Parkinson's disease. Fox's fight with Parkinson's has changed the way he lives, because he has to change his daily habits to deal with the symptoms of the disease. Many people look up to him because of how brave and strong he is in the face of this disease that gets worse over time. Even with these problems, he has stayed busy and started the Michael J. Fox Foundation, which is now one of the most important groups for study into Parkinson's. Fox has had hurdles, such as health problems related to his condition and injuries from falls, but he stays positive and committed to his work as an advocate.